That was good. Yo, what's up, YouTube? In the small boxes, Garth. In the big boxes.
Vaughn.
And together we are the Den Den Boys. You're wondering why we're doing it like this? It's because we are states apart and a long way away from each other. So we thought we'd just get together quickly to do a little video on our first impressions of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. First of all, let's start off. How many hours are you in, dude?
Yep. So today, finally got the day 11 Nintendo stats, and it was a 100-hour mark, which kind of blew me away a bit. I didn't think it'd be that much. Time flies when you're having that much fun.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I haven't had my day 11 stat because I'm day 10, but I think I'm maybe pushing 40 hours, something like that, which is a long way behind you. So I guess in the video we're just going to talk about the things that we're liking so far, that surprised us, that we're impressed by, how it's different from the original game, and then just whether it's, the hype is as big as everyone's been talking about. So what do you like so far, man? Like, what do you in your 100 hours? Like, what's blowing you away?
Yeah, look, just the freedom to move in all dimensions now, up, down, underground, up in the sky, and of course, the building and making things and the vehicles. Yeah, like just the freedom and the new spin on that familiar world.
Yeah, true. I think I think for me the scale of the game is probably the most impressive thing. Like, I think we all thought Breath of the Wild was big, and it is big. Don't get me wrong, but then you play this game and you're like, okay, it's the same map as Breath of the Wild, but now you've got the equivalent of the same map underground, which is like some sort of like upside down, like Stranger Things, and then you've also got sky level. It's mind blowing how big it is.
How they fit this on
and of course, when something's that big, it can be. Yeah, crazy too. And the thing is, when something's that big, it becomes a bit overwhelming. So I found a lot of my play so far, I've kind of been a bit taken aback and not really knowing where to go. It almost has a bit like a Dark Souls vibe for me. Like, I'm playing it, and the first 20 hours of the game, I just spent exploring the world and fighting goblins and fighting all the lizards and just getting whooped and going, oh, okay, I'm probably not supposed to be here. Like, I actually found myself dying a lot, which I was clearly in areas that I was underpowered for.
You wouldn't associate kind of depth and Dark Souls sort of difficulty with the Zelda game.
Yeah, not with the Zelda game. But since then, I've gone on to sort of, follow the story mission a little bit more, and that's kind of, opening up the world a little bit. But yeah, for me, the most impressive thing is the scale. You couldn't possibly think anything could be bigger than Breath of the Wild, and then suddenly this is like technically 3 times bigger. So it's pretty impressive. What about in terms of, that's like the things that's impressed us initially. What about like things that are new in this game that weren't in Breath of the Wild that are like make it stand out?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest one is the building mechanic, the crafting.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Weapons and tools and fusing. I mean, hey, everyone loves to build things, and now the sky's the limit. Your imagination is the only sort of. So yeah, that's turned it upside down. But yeah,
it's like a kid with a Lego set.
Yeah, it's almost.
There's a way to put it. It's like a kid with a Lego set. Just it's all in front of you, and you can just build whatever you want.
Yeah, they just magically glue together, literally.
Yeah.
And it's really probably once you get the hang of it. Yeah,
Yeah, you've already shown me some of the impressive cars and stuff you built, and I'm not even there yet. I think the other thing for me too is the weapon system. Like, I'm really enjoying the absurdity and kind of the play around nature of like putting different weapons together with different objects. So just like you can glue, for people who haven't played the game yet, for people you glue things together to make obviously vehicles, but you can take any weapon, and with one of the skills that you've got, you can add anything to it. And sometimes it basically does no doesn't add much damage to your weapons, but sometimes you'll stick something to it, like an opal or something sharp to your weapon, and it'll really increase the attack power. You can stick flamethrower to it and electrical pieces to it.
There's a purpose to everything. Like in the original Breath of the Wild, you had 1,000,001 collectibles, a lot of which were useless, or you could sell them, or But now every rock, every mineral, every horn, every thing that you pick up can be attached to a weapon for different effects.
Can do something.
Yeah. So there's a purpose, real purpose now.
And I kind of feel like the weapons have been in the first game, the cooking experimentation was the fun part, like chucking this in, a little bit of that, see what you get. I feel like the weapons are that in this version. Like, I'll take this weapon and put this on it and see what I get. I'll take, like, I put a bat wing on the end of my spear last night, and it turned into this huge spear with a bat wing on the end of it that did damage, but also added some feather element to it to blow them back. That was pretty cool. Yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, of course. It's
almost like if you're using
blow people away.
If you're using a weapon and it's unfused, you're doing it wrong. Like, it's almost like if you want that attack power, and I think that's why they've got all the weapons are decayed, all the stock weapons are decayed, almost as an incentive to cover up that decay with a fuse item.
Yeah. The other impressive stuff that wasn't in Breath of the Wild is obviously all the secret areas,
the caves,
the dungeons, the caves, wells, and areas you can find. Wells you can go down, all that sort of stuff.
So good.
And the other impressive, like we already talked about, is the caverns or the chasms or whatever they're calling them, which is basically a whole other world, the equivalent of the regular land, but underground. Which is more difficult, has heaps of hidden items, and it's completely pitch black. You've got to light up with these buds
to see things, and you lose hearts if you get hit by the enemies. You actually lose hearts, but very Dark Souls.
They're almost like corrupted. You got to go back into the light to kind of rejuvenate yourself.
The whole atmosphere under there with that crazy soundtrack, like the atmosphere is it's just brilliant.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it adds a whole other element to the game that I haven't even started exploring. I've barely scratched the surface down there, no pun intended. But it's mind blowing and a bit overwhelming to think there's a whole other world down there. I haven't even seen the top deck yet. So really cool stuff. The combat's great, but and I guess the other thing that's not new, but new to the series, is the idea that we're playing the same map. Like that's kind of never been done in Zelda before.
Like almost controversial, like and a gamble, but
every Zelda is always new.
I think, like, when I first heard that was what the direction they headed in, even I was like skeptical about reusing the Breath of the Wild map, but it makes sense now. Like you're seeing it through your eyes.
And revisiting characters and places you've been before, and the characters actually recognizing you and go, that's Link from years ago that helped us out, and so that's kind of cool that it follows on.
And the Guardians are gone, like the robot Guardians sort of. Because they changed the whole vibe of Breath of the Wild. You would like just shitting yourself in areas where they could just like one hit you and stuff. And now that with them gone, it's a different. It's a more of a welcoming atmosphere. I mean, there's challenges, there's difficult enemies, but they're not patrolling everywhere. Spoiler alert.
No, true. And I think it's a bit fair on the gameplay, but like I said, the idea that if you just go off and explore, you may get your butt handed to you because you're just not supposed to be there yet. Or put some effort into getting some more hearts and some more armor and all that sort of stuff. I was just going in there with the bare minimum armor and just taking on a whole nest of goblins and just getting killed, just like no wonder. Man. So obviously the flight is a new thing too.
Yes,
flight's huge. Like the idea of flying those mechanical birds, and then building your own planes.
That's it.
That's incredible.
I mean, the original game, you had the paraglider, but that was just kind of falling gracefully. Now you've got sustained, directed flight, like only limited by your battery sort of strength to keep it going.
They've added the whole battery and kind of like the Lego kind of kit to the building. So all really cool stuff, and it's amazing that they've taken a 10 out of 10 game in Breath of the Wild and somehow improved upon it and made it a 20 out of 10. Like you think, how do you do that? It's incredible. It really is. Cool, man. Well, I guess we're gonna talk about whether we like it or not. Like, are you loving the game? You're gonna play another 100 hours plus?
Head over heels. Yeah, surprise, surprise. But yeah, head over heels. Just in love with it. Like, at the moment, it's just blowing my mind. Yeah, it keeps surprising me day by day.
Yeah. You keep finding new things in it, and that's the beauty of it. Going off to do one particular mission, and then all of a sudden going, what's that thing in the? Oh, what's that bright shiny thing over there? And then getting totally distracted for an hour, and then going, what was I doing again? Oh, yeah, it's a bit ADHD almost. To play the game,
And the fact that it was a bit overwhelming in the beginning, but then getting past that, that's an amazing sweet spot, because it just clicks and you get it, and then it's just look out.
Yeah, no, totally. All right, there you go. So initial impressions are double thumbs up, triple thumbs if we could give it. It's doing really good.
The hype is real.
And the hype is real, absolutely, man. I'm glad you're digging it. And also in terms of our channel, thanks for watching. Like I said, this is a bit new for us, so we'll play around with this. Hopefully people dig this, have a little chat. And then also the goal for the year is to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you hit that subscribe button, that like button, share button, that'd be great. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. And then hopefully we'll be back in the flesh, and I won't be in this little tiny box for another Den Boys video next time. So thanks for watching. Peace.